NBA Finals is going to be the Boston Celtics versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Here's why. Let's do the Clippers first. As long as Kawhi last year when they were in the playoffs, if it wasn't for him getting hurt, I think they would have made it past that round. And he only would have got better and hotter along with Paul George. But since he got hurt, it sucked. But this year, he's played the most games he's played in the last 2 to 3 years. With the addition of James Harden, someone who could distribute the ball and takes the pressure off Paul George and Kawhi Leonard from ball handling. Although in the fourth, you got to get the ball to Kawhi Leonard because he's clutch. Then the bench move for Russell Westbrook. The only concern for me for the Clippers was to get a big man, like a legit. Zubac is cool. He's great. Mason Plumlee's cool. He's great. But I was, hoping they would trade for like a Clinton Capella or something like that. But as long as you have a healthy Kawhi Leonard on your team, you always will have a chance to go to the finals. And I think that's what's going to happen. Bearing injury, that team is just deep. I haven't even mentioned Man yet. I haven't even just their whole team is just, even Bones Highland can get a few minutes in and there when they need scoring, and he sometimes doesn't even play. So that just tell you. And then you got Norman Powell. Like, come on. I think their only biggest challenge would be the Denver Nuggets. I think they're gonna beat the Dallas Mavericks because you're gonna have Kawhi on Luka, and you're gonna have, like, you could even throw a Paul George on Luka. You can throw even Man on Luka. And same thing with Kawhi. You could have Russell on not Kawhi. Why would they guard each other? You can have Russell on Kyrie Irving. You can even throw Paul George too on Kyrie Irving or Norman Powell. Like, their rotation, and then Ty Lue is pretty decent at making adjustments and know when and where to play players and the lineups. I just think the Denver Nuggets is the only team where I'm like, oh, that's tough, man. The Denver Nuggets are just as deep. Joker, Murray, pick and roll. I think too, like the Suns, if the Clippers play the Suns, would be a little worried, but that would just depend on how KD is, his health wise, because KD needs to average damn near 30 points this whole playoff in order for the Suns to even make a chance. Same thing with Devin Booker, because defensively, I don't see how they're going to get it done, and their bench is not that deep. So at playoffs come to who's the deepest, who's the healthiest, and who got star power, which the Clippers do, and Denver, like I said, does. The Timberwolves too, like, are scary, but you got that whole Rudy Gobert. How is he going to be on switches? How is he going to be when the players take him to the top of the key and now you have no one guarding your paint, and he can't, how he is when it comes to getting off dribbles. He can't guard. So did he get better than that? Is Anthony Edwards going to be Michael Jordan Jr. because he has to play like that in order for them to make a finals appearance? Like, all these questions you have with these other teams that are kind of answered with the Clippers. And that's why I got the Clippers in the Western Conference making the finals. As far as for the East, I got the Boston Celtics. Why not? They just got better. That Porzingis looks like just like Kawhi, healthier than before. The only thing that worries me about them is Jason Tatum has to take that next step. Literally, like, I'm the guy. I need the ball. I need to show up. I need to shoot 50%. I need to hit those big threes. And Jaylen Brown, you need to start using your left. You need to start being smart. Al Horford always elevates his game when it comes to the playoffs. He's a good man to guard big men, and can somewhat guard guards at sometimes too. Same thing with Porzingis. He's able now with his range to bring out every team's big and then leave open the paint for Jaylen Brown, for even a Holiday, a Tatum, even Pritchard. So that I just like their lineup, the players they have and how it works. My only threat to them would be probably, I would even say the Bucks, because now what you got, Giannis hurt, and Dame's kind of old, and Doc Rivers ain't proven nothing besides blowing 3-1 leads. I wouldn't be too worried about them. I wouldn't be too worried about the Pacers, because I think you match up kind of well against the Pacers, because you can score with the Pacers being one of the top 5 scoring teams. The New York Knicks, if they had Julius Randle, even though Julius Randle tends to not show up in the playoff, he still is a star, and you didn't know what he was going to bring this season because with him, OG Anunoby, and Jalen Brunson, they were like 5-0 to start 7-0 when they made that trade, and then you add more pieces on top of that. I'm not worried about the Cleveland with the Celtics. Maybe the 76ers. Yeah, I can see that because I am a Nick Nurse fan. Joel Embiid, before he got hurt, was playing MVP. You surrounded him with shooters like Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry, and Tobias Harris can guard somewhat decent. So that maybe for the Celtics I'm worried about because I don't see a Porzingis or Horford really guarding Joel Embiid like that. But we're going to have to see. I just think this is set in stone, perfectly layup for Boston. And actually, my bad, I take that back. But if the Miami Heat, if they lose the first two games without Jimmy Butler being out, then then they are in serious trouble because, Terry Rozier, Jimmy Butler, and then Tyler Hero back. That's your biggest fear. So if anything for the Boston Celtics, I'm worried about the first round. After that, I think I'm kind of good. But I think it's gonna be a Boston Clippers finals. I don't know yet who I got between the Boston and Clippers. I'm gonna see how things play out real quick for these first few games. As of right now, my gut feeling though is gonna say the Clippers are gonna win the NBA Finals, but that is like by a point, not even 1% chance against the Celtics. But I got Boston Celtics, Clippers. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.